Welcome, guys. I'm Jim Collins. I am not going to say my normal spiel of working to welcome to another episode of Journey to the Pit. Well, actually, I guess it can be. Welcome to another episode of Journey to the Pit. But this episode is going to be something totally different than what we're used to doing. Um, y'all guys, if y'all been on the Journey to the Pit, y'all know what it's all about. But I think as many other aspects on our journey that we encounter, and the impact of social media, I think is a aspect that we should really have a conversation about. Um, I say that because even though we don't talk about it, doesn't mean it does not affect us. you know um so I think we need to talk about it to kind of open our eyes and give us something to think about. Maybe look at things from a different perspective, maybe actually look at things from a perspective that we actually never probably looked into or even thought about. We got guys chiming in. What's up, Alan? What's up, Robert? What's up, Red? What's going on? Appreciate y'all guys chiming in. Like I said, if you are watching this from my personal page on Facebook, you can go over to the Journey to the Pit fan page. This way you can comment if you like. I will definitely be trying to read a lot of comments, take some comments and stuff like that. So we are actually live streaming this also on YouTube. So, check in from where you're checking in at. What's up, Jay? What's up, brother? You see, you still got those llamas out there in the yard. But tonight it's going to be a little something different. Again, I think it's an aspect of our journey that we should definitely talk about because it does have a huge impact on our sport, on our image, on a perception that is portrayed to the rest of the world. And it's not, again, it can be a very heated topic. Everybody got different perspectives, opposite perspectives on it. People are very passionate about it. Um, but at the end of the day, I think it's something that we need to talk about. I have been having some conversation with some really, really good friends about it, probably over the last couple of weeks. But I know I was talking to a really, really good friend of mine's about it yesterday. I think it was yesterday morning or something like that. So, like I say, I really think it's something that we need to talk about. So, what's up, Jay? What's up, Donnie? Hey, brother. What's up, Nick? What's up, Ricky? James? Everybody's checking in. What's up, Groundbreaker? Yes, sir. Pure Game. Gregory. What's up? I got my Hawaii brothers in the house as always, man. Hawaii's always showing Journey to the Pit. Much love. We got Robert Orr all the way from Northern Ireland. That's what I'm talking about. All the way from Northern Ireland. But we got guys checking in from all over the place. Um, Tony. That's to be determined, brother. That's to be determined. But listen, guys, this is the topic of the day. Again, it's not going to really be something exciting. Probably won't get many views. But for the ones that do watch it, I really would like for y'all guys to hear some of y'all comments in the comment section. Um, because I think, and I apologize, I am looking down at the screen. So if you see me looking down, that's the reason why, because I am trying to read some of the comments. We got everybody checking in. We got New Mexico checking in, Oklahoma, Virginia, Alabama. We got the Bay Area, which is obviously that is in California. But like I said, if you just chimed in, guys, the topics that we're going to talk about tonight, the topic that we're going to talk about tonight is the impact of social media on our, sport. Um, Pure Game, get with me, man. The team app is not that complicated, brother. But definitely get with me, message me, and we'll walk through it. So, guys, get back to tops. Let's go ahead and move on. I appreciate everybody checking in, man. Share it if you can. If you're watching it from the Journey to the Pit Facebook page, make sure you like it, hit that bell button so you can get notification when we go live. If you're watching from YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that bell notification so you know when we go on live. Um, so, guys, again, if you're watching from my personal page, going over to the Journey to the Pit fan page, if you want to comment, because if you're not on my friends list, you won't be able to comment. So I will be looking for some comments to be coming in. So let's talk about social media. We don't have to put any particular platform on stage because I think what we're talking about applies to all platforms, depending on where you are in the world, will kind of determine on what platform is more popular in that part of the world. So, um, Everything that we're going to be talking about tonight is basically going to be, my opinion and opinions from comment section, but it's really just to start a discussion. Um, oh, we got the native Indians in the house. I hear you, Taylor. Yes, sir. Guys, let's talk about it. What is social media? And guys, don't be afraid to post your comments in the comment section. I'll try to read them and highlight some. But let's talk about this. What is social media? Let me share my perspective on social media, regardless of what platform you're using it. Social media, in my opinion, is a tool. Before we get into if it's good or bad, whatever the negative effects are, what's the positive and everything, let's just talk about what social media is. Social media is a platform that is a tool that obviously is built by a company for profit, not for profit, but a for profit company to obviously generate profit. Um, and users, we all get on these platforms. All these platforms are free in monetary sense, and that's something I want to talk about. So, is social media good or bad? I say social media is a tool, just like anything else, just like a firearm, just like a baseball bat, just like a car. Yeah, it's a tool. Now, what you do with that tool will determine the results of what that tool is going to produce. Um, so again, do I blame social media? And a lot of the conversations I have, everybody just blames social media. Do I blame social media for the image that GameFi breeders have portrayed to the world? Me personally, I don't blame social media because again, I look at social media as a tool. It just depends on how you use it. I will be a hypocrite to say social media is straight, it's just no good and doesn't have any benefits to it. Because with social media, Journey to the Pit has made a huge impact in the sport, has connected a lot of people, has educated a lot of people, has helped a lot of people. I have met a lot of people all through Journey to the Pit. And it was been built on a social media platform that I actually use for free monetarily, meaning that I didn't pay money for it every month. It's not free. It's just that it doesn't cost any money. You don't have to dig in your wallet, but it's not free. And we'll talk about that. So social media is a tool, first and foremost. It's a tool. What you get out of it is depends on how you use it. Period, point blank. That's what it is. So we can never place the blame or results of anything on social media because there's good and there's bad uses of social media. So let's move on to the next aspect of it. One of the biggest things that many people have with social media, any platform with social media, is the censorship. People always complaining about the censorship. Well, let me share my perspective on the censorship type deal. I look at it like this: it's their platform, right? It's almost like someone coming to your house. And with someone coming to your house, is it okay for them to walk into your house and put their dirty boots up on your coffee table? For some people, hey, it might be okay. For some people, no, it's not okay. Is it okay for somebody to come inside your house and not wash their hands and go into your refrigerator? Well, the way I was raised is my mama never let us go inside the refrigerator without washing our hands. Those are just house rules. And the reason why I call them house rules and not censorship is because my parents own the house. So it's their house. So they can dictate the rules of the use in their house. Um, but, I do understand, in my opinion, to a point, the house rules can be very biased. And when house rules become biased, that's when, in my opinion, it becomes censorship. So I believe you can have house rules and you can have censorship. House rules, in my personal opinion, applies to everybody. Censorship applies to people with an opposite view on something. That's what I personally call censorship. I never looked it up in a dictionary to see what it is. If somebody got time, look it up in a dictionary. Um, look it up in a dictionary, what the definition of censorship is. But my perspective on it, the way I look at it is you know, house rules is rules that apply to everybody. Doesn't matter who you are. Just like my mom coming to the house, regardless of who you were, before you went into the refrigerator, you had to wash your hands. That was just a house rule. Even if my father came into the house, she's like, "Hey, wash your hands before you go into the refrigerator." That was it. That to me, that was house rules because it applied to everybody. Even she done it. So I think one of the biggest things that's a challenge to us is it used to be house rules. Now it's censorship. Why do I say it's censorship? Well, again, what my definition of censorship is when you restrict someone with opposite views. That's it. And I think with all the stuff that has came out, you know, within the last week, with a whistleblower from one of these social media platforms had to go and testify in front of the committees, you can definitely you found out for a fact that there is some censorship of some form going on. So that's the biggest challenge, or the biggest one of the biggest issues that we have. Um, so let's talk about it. Do they have the right to do it? I say no. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's right. I understand house rules, but I think censorship doesn't play. I don't think that goes along with the roots of freedom of speech. You know, America's very big on freedom of speech, or was very big on freedom of speech, or supposed to be big on freedom of speech. But we all know within the last, I would say, probably 5 years or less. Yeah, I would say at least, yeah, probably 5 years or less. That's to me, in my opinion, what used to be house rules is now censorship. The agenda is driving to one side extremely hard, and I don't think it's right. Again, I can't complain. Why? Because I got the right to, remove the app from my phone, close my account, and everything else. I got the right to do that, and I haven't. So I really can't complain. You can only you. I mean, you can voice your opinion, but you really can't bark too loud about it because at the end of the day, you can just take the app off your phone and not even use a platform. That's the reality of it. Is that right? My opinion, no. But hey, it's their platform. They can say what they want and do what they want. I don't think it's fair, but that's what it is. Um, let's go to the next topic. You know, uh, the topic of people getting put in Facebook jail, people building these followings on these platforms. Individuals doing transactions. As far as selling birds, some individuals have built their whole entire business on this platform, and 90% of their sales or 99% of their sales come from a social media platform. Here's my message to you guys out there who have built your whole entire business on any social media platform. This what was told to me, and I think I talked about this yesterday. I talked about this yesterday in a short little video. Let me give y'all guys an example. Anybody out there who has built a business on social media, I don't care what it is. It could be selling hats. It could be selling mugs. It could be selling cars. It can be selling beauty products. It could be selling clothes. It could be selling anything. Listen to what I'm about to tell you and really think about this. And hold on. You could actually, it's millions of people have built their reputation on social media alone. Let me tell you what I was told, and I'll give you my analogy. He didn't use this exact analogy, but I'll give you this analogy. I was talking to a good friend about it. Any social media platform is just this simple. You live in a house, and next door to you is a vacant lot, right? You live in a house, and next door to you is a vacant lot. The vacant lot is owned. You don't know who the owner is. The owner never comes around. You don't know, anything about the owners of the plot of land next door to you, right? But you know it's owned by somebody. Think about this, and this is to everybody who has built a business solely on any social media platform. Say you go over, since you've been there 50 years and you have never seen anyone at that plot of land, come into that plot of land, drive past that plot of land, never ask a question about that plot of land. You don't even know if the owners of that plot of land pay taxes. So little do you know, you thinking, hey, it's part of the forest. I don't know. I don't think nobody owns that plot of land. And since you've been there 50 years, you never seen nobody over there. You go build a house on that plotted land. You go build a house next door to you on a big old vacant lot that you haven't seen anybody for 50 years. And you build a house on that land. And then one day out the blue, somebody shows up and say, hey, I'm the owner of this land. Who house is that? And you like, oh man, I've been here 50 years. I thought this house was just a part of the forest. No, I own this plot of land. And the guy's like, well, I built a house on the land. Well, the owner of the land gets to say, you know what? It's my land. You say it's my house. The landowner say, well, since it's on my land, it's my house. So now you built the house on somebody else's land. Now the landowner gets to collect the rent of the house that you built. He gets to tell you what color you can paint the house. He gets to tell you what you can do to the house because it's on his land. So just think about that. So many individuals, even Journey to the Pit. If I knew what I knew now, I would have built Journey to the Pit on an independent website from the beginning. Because basically, what I have done, I have built a house on somebody else's land. Now they're telling me how or what I can do with the house. And not only that, they're monetizing off of my following. And this goes for anybody who has built anything on social media. All of these individuals with 10, 15, 20,000 followers, all of these groups with 5, 10, 15, 20,000 members in these groups, Facebook is monetizing on all of those individuals. The person who built that following is not making $1. Many of those people in those groups are in those groups because of the people who started the group. So just think about that. Think about that. And let me give an example. Let's say Facebook, for example. I built Journey to the Pit fan page. I think it has like 10 to 15,000 followers, right? Or likes or whatever they call it on a fan page, right? I make a post. Now I already got 10,000, 15,000 people that voluntarily press the like button and a follow button to follow the Journey to the Pit page, right? I put up a post on Journey to the Pit fan page, and I'll be lucky if 10% of the people that follow that page sees that post. And then I'll get a message from Facebook and say, hey, pay us $10, $15, $20, and we'll show it to more people. And I'm like, when this first happened, this was years ago, I said, hold on. This is confusing to me. If I built the page and people came over to the Journey to the Pit page because they like what we doing, they voluntarily hit the like button, they voluntarily hit the follow button, that means they want to see the post from Journey to the Pit fan page. So my question to myself was, well, why you just don't show it to the 10,000 people who voluntarily liked the page and followed the page. Why do I have to pay you to show the post to the people who already signed up? Think about that. So check this out. Check this out. So look how they monetizing from two aspects. One, they monetize off of every individual on Facebook in your group. They monetize every single bit of every single person. Facebook monetizes your information, right? We all know that. That's not a secret. And it's not illegal either. They're not doing anything wrong. They're not doing anything illegal. It might be, everybody got different points of views, but the bottom line is they're not doing anything wrong. So I build a following of 10 or 15,000 people on the Journey to the Pit Facebook page. Facebook monetizes the information from those 15,000 people. Then it asks me to pay money to show my posts to them same 15,000 people. Mind you, I would think they would show the post to everybody due to the fact that they're already making money off the 15,000 people information. Now you want to pay the person that built the following of 15,000 to show his post to the same 15,000? What kind of shenanigans is that? So like I said, guys, I'm not saying, I'm not saying that uh I'm not saying that it's right or wrong. All I'm saying is, all I'm saying is this is the reality of it, right? And look, everybody, you might assume everybody know this, but I promise you everybody don't know it. First of all, if you haven't built your own page, you don't know it. So it's not, it's not it's not common sense, or it's not something that you will automatically know, right? So they monetizing off the 15,000, right? Followers that came to the page. Then they charge me to show a post to the same 15,000 that voluntarily follow the page, right? So they making money from both aspects of it. So you have to understand that it's a money making business. So I have actually built a house on somebody else's land. So now that I built the house on somebody else's land, they get to monetize off of it. So they get to collect the money from the renters, even though I built the house, but I built it on a land. Think about that. I really want everybody out there who have built up a following or is doing business off of Facebook. You really need to understand that you have built a business on somebody else's land. And any day of the week, at any time, they can shut the whole business down because they're already monetizing off of it. Guys say, well, it don't matter to me. I'm making sales. And I understand that. You're right. I mean, I totally understand that. But understand this. You can wake up one day and it can shut your whole page down. And guys say, oh, well, it don't matter. Then I got customers. You know how many guys sell chickens to people that they never knew before? Do you know how many guys sell chickens to people that if they didn't have Facebook page, they wouldn't even know who they were? So don't try to pretend like if they shut your page down, that is not going to affect you if you're using social media from a business aspect, because it's going to hurt you. Don't try to pretend like it's not. You might not think it's not, but I promise you it will hurt you. So that is something to think about. Anybody out there, if you're doing any kind of business, selling chicken, selling feed, selling whatever you're doing, understand you have built a business on somebody else's land and they could dictate when that business is shut down. But in the meantime, they keep the business running because you have a huge following. So they get to monetize on your following. That's why they're keeping you up and running. They're not keeping you up and running because they want to help you make money. They're keeping you running so that you can keep those people coming to Facebook and they can continue to monetize their information. So that's what it is. Um, so let's talk about the next thing. Uh, The next thing is the positive and negative effect of social media. In my personal opinion, I think the negatives outweigh the positives. In my personal opinion. Now, this is a hot topic, and other guys will, they got ways around it, and they say, "Well, I don't get involved in personal posts or certain type of things, or political posts or religious posts or stuff like that." And I totally understand that, and that's the same thing with me. But you got to ask yourself, why are you doing that? Well, you're doing that because you know some repercussions. So, basically, what you're doing is you're submitting to the censorship. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that because it's all on an individual basis. But also, too, some individuals are just coming to social media just for chickens. Like me, I'm coming to social media for chickens and to try to make a positive impact through inspiration and education. That's what I'm coming to social media for. I'm not coming to social media to learn about my news. I'm not coming to social media to learn about current events. I'm not coming to social media to learn about science. I'm not coming to social media to learn about politics. I'm not coming to social media to learn about the weather. I'm not coming to social media for none of those things. I created my social media channels on all my platforms for chickens and chicken related things. That's it. That's it. So, over the years, they have made different types of changes because a lot of people from every type of industry, every type of sport, we always feeling the pain. So they had to tweak some things and make some changes to try to keep everybody happy. Um, but what I will say is, I personally think that is more negatives than positive, and let me explain why I say that. First of all, it creates and encourages a behavior that I don't think is a positive behavior. I don't think that they push positivity. I don't think that they're trying to make a positive impact. I don't think that they're doing what they're doing for the good of humanity. I know they try to portray like they are. They're trying to get everybody connected, and they want you to talk to your family members and all this and that. But if you have listened to what the whistleblower has said over the last week, you would know that that stuff is not true. Okay? So, the reason why I say again that the negatives outweigh the positives is because the platforms, all these platforms, condone and encourage negative behavior. Let me give you an example. You can post a chicken like I did, running on a treadmill, exercising, and that get flagged for graphic. But yet, I can see two people in a ghetto banging each other head in, and it has a 1.5 million views. Now, how is that not violent and graphic? Think about all the bullying videos that used to be up. Remember those videos that they showed where they had people walking up on the street knocking out strangers on video? Remember that? Today, even still today, on all these platforms, you can search and see people beating each other half to death. I ain't talking about sports. I ain't talking about MMA or anything like that. I'm talking about out in the street, and that'll have over a million views. But that is not flagged as graphic. It's certain words from certain breeds of chickens that I can't even say it now on this video. But it's certain words, is a certain breed of chicken, and we call it by three letters. It start with a J and end with a P, and that word, which is the name of the breed of chicken, that word is flagged as hate speech. You can't even use the word stand up. So think about that, guys. So again, you can go back and see all of these, in my personal opinion, violent videos. And they say, "Oh, we can't get them all." But yet you can get every chicken video. You can get all them, but you can't get every fight video and this and that. And if it got a 1.5 million views, 2 million views, you have plenty of time to catch them or remove it, and you didn't. And you didn't. So that's what I'm talking about when it comes to the censorship. Those are not house rules. And the behaviors. Because what ends up happening is when we see stuff like that, then we share it. That's how I get 1.5 million views, because it's getting shared all over the place. They condone and they encourage negative behavior. If you don't believe me, listen to the Senate hearings that's going on right now. They're clearly telling you what they've been pushing. Clearly. So that's why I say the negatives outweigh the positives, because again, the platforms are designed to encourage negative behavior towards each other. They promote violent and graphics posts. Look at all those riots and burning cars and all that kind of stuff. That's not graphic. That's not violent. But yet that stuff had millions of views. So at the end of the day, guys, regardless of what your stance is, they have molded our behavior, every last one of us, in some shape, form, or fashion. In some shape, form, or fashion, they have molded our behavior. Period. Period. Another thing that has came out is the negative effects as far as being addictive. All of these social media apps are addictive. Some people are more addicted than others, like everything else. Some people just like to have one drink a night. Some people good with just only drinking on weekends. Some people got to get drunk every time they drink. It's different levels to it. You know what I mean? But one can't really talk about the other because y'all all doing the same thing. So think about it like that. It's a proven scientific fact that these apps are addictive. Period. It's a proven scientific fact, again, and this is from their notes, that these platforms have a negative impact on the next generation. Think about that. That's already public information coming from these platforms. What's up, Venezuela? Glad you checking in, brother. But just think about that, guys. It's the cat is out the bag. The cat is out the bag. So, how does these platforms affect the next generation? Well, I can tell you now how they affected the present generation, which is going to have a trickle down effect for the next generation, which is this. Why I say they have molded our behavior. They made these platforms free as far as you don't have to pay for it. Why? They could have the same Netflix approach where Netflix charge you, Hulu charge you, Amazon, Disney, all of them. They can charge you and not sell you information, just charge you so you can pay for the service. But no, because if they did that, they wouldn't have 2 or 3 billion users, because 2 or 3 billion people is not going to pay. Even if it's 99 cents, they're not going to pay. So how has our addiction or commitment or choice to use these social media platforms affected the sport? One of the first things that it has done, it has ran almost every magazine out of business. And I think I have showed y'all guys, and I'll show y'all guys again. This is a Gamecock. Look how thin it is. It's like 12 pages. This is a Gamecock. A Gamecock. This is a Gamecock. Gamecock used to be 100, almost 200 pages. I had one Gamecock. That thing looked like it was about an inch and a half thick that I got. And this was probably 92 or 93. Was a friend of mine's, Mr. Ernie from West Virginia, gave me. And guys can say, oh, because things are different back in the day, blah, 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 blah. We can all say that. At the end of the day, you got to ask yourself, why was you buying the Gamecock? I had a ton of awesome articles in there, very educational. Had guys selling chickens and all that. So, oh, well, things are different now. Guys don't want to be out there. That's a lie. Because the same people who selling chickens in the Gamecock is selling chickens now on Facebook, if they still have chickens. They're not using the Gamecock to sell chickens anymore. They went to social media because social media is free. I'm not saying that's the reason why they went to social media, but a lot of the people who sold chickens in the Gamecock, if they're stealing chickens now, are selling chickens on social media. Think about that. And correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't grow up in a game foul community here in the States, so I don't have all the answers. I'm not pretending I have all the answers. That's why I want y'all guys to comment. Correct me if I'm right or wrong. Some of the same people who were selling chickens in the Gamecock years ago are selling chickens for free on Facebook. Some of the people who write in the articles or who used to write articles, and I know this for a fact, some of the people who's writing articles, who used to write articles for the Gamecock, ain't writing articles for the Gamecock, but they got a social media page. They got a social media page, and they putting that information on social media. So Facebook, and I know, earlier today, my buddy of mine's put up a comment that, you know, uh, these big platforms, if they feel as though you're taking away business, they'll come after you. Yeah, that's exactly right. They'll usually typically buy you up, or they'll, do some kind of thing where you really can't survive. But my response to him was this: social media didn't tell people to stop buying Gamecock. Social media didn't tell people to stop putting ads in Gamecock to sell chickens. Social media didn't tell people to stop writing for Gamecock. Didn't do none of it. That was all our choice. That was all our choice. So nobody's to blame why the Gamecock magazine is only 12 pages. But us. That ain't social media. That's us. But social media had a hand in molding that behavior. Oh, you don't need that magazine. You don't need that magazine. When everybody was using the Gamecock, was y'all complaining about censorship? No. You know why? Because the only thing in Gamecock was about chickens. That's why. It wasn't no religion. It wasn't no politics. It wasn't no science. It was chickens. That's it. So you wasn't getting censored when you was getting a Gamecock, or when you was writing articles for the Gamecock, or you was selling stuff in a Gamecock. You wasn't getting censored because it was all about chickens. So think about that. So my response to my buddy was, you can't blame social media on the downfall of these magazines. But let me tell you now the position they got us in. Let me tell you now the position they got us in. Now we have, since we chose to abandon all these magazines, or with the magazines, they didn't keep up with the times. But since we abandoned the magazines and moved over to social media, now they have us in a position that we have nowhere to go. We have nowhere to go. That's why everybody's dealing with this censorship. Because where else can you go? Can't go nowhere. You can't. It's nowhere to go. That's what I'm saying. Just because you post something in the Gamecock don't mean you're doing something illegal. But you can't get a person to post. And look, I'm not promoting the Gamecock magazine. I have no interest in it at all as far as that. I don't have any financial interest or anything. I don't even know the people who run the Gamecock. I mean, I get it. I support it. But and I read the stuff in it. But at the end of the day, I don't know those people in there. I don't even know who runs the Gamecock magazine. I mean, I wish I did, because it's some suggestions I would have. But at the end of the day, I don't have any interest in it. I'm just using the Gamecock magazine as an example because that was the first game file magazine I have ever seen in my life, which I say was way back in the early 90s. You know what I'm saying? So look at the position that they have us in. So now they done shut down all of our rooms, all of our areas. We have nowhere else to escape. Now that they have burned everything down around us, they got total control. You know how many guys, like I say, that won't even be able to sell a chicken if they didn't have Facebook? They wouldn't be able to do anything. So think about that. That's the reason why we're creating this website. We're going to create this platform for guys to come to just talk chickens like the Gamecock magazine. Not science, not politics, not religion, not hate, nothing, not current events. It's going to be just like the Gamecock magazine. And I'm sure guys are going to hear the idea because you heard me talking about it. You're going to have guys out there racing out there to try to do the same thing and beat me to it. It doesn't matter. It's enough people to go around. People can be on everybody's website. They don't just have to be one. There's no, y'all guys know I don't play no zero sum game. Ain't no need to. There's enough people to go around. Everybody don't like me. Everybody don't like you. So some people support me, but won't support you. And some people support both of us or all of us. It's just that simple. So think about it in that formula. They have molded our behavior to where we allow all the other avenues for us to communicate and meet to get shut down. Now we stuck in this prison cell and they're dictating what we can say, what we can post. They read all our messages, they read all our posts, and the biggest thing is they sell all of our personal information for monetary gain and don't give none of us the profits. We don't even get to share in the profits of the profits that's made off of our information. Think about that. We don't get to they don't even share the profits with us that they make off of our information. So, like with the website, it's not going to be built to compete against any social media platform. We're just building a space for you to come that you can talk chickens. You can private message people, you can build a friends list, you can post videos, you can post pictures, all of that. But it will be a monthly fee. Why? Because we're not collecting and selling nobody's information. So the platform has to pay for itself to get ran. It's not going to be ran with volunteers who've been eating nachos at the Bayou Club and been in the sport 55. It's going to be ran by developers and IT people that don't care about a chicken, don't know nothing about a chicken. Their job is to keep websites, social media platforms up and running. That's it. So, but Jay, no, Jay, wonderful. That's exactly what it's going to be. It's going to be a membership based website. And the thing about the membership based website is the fact that if you don't like it, okay. These other social media platforms are still there. Just because we build this platform doesn't mean you got to shut down all your other social. No, keep all of that. Talk about all the other stuff on those platforms. But when you come to our platform, you'll just be talking chickens. That's it. And it will be a monthly fee. So if you don't like it, that monthly fee will encourage you to leave. To leave. To me, putting a price tag on it, to me, it sifts out a lot of the people with the bad behavior. It'll keep them away mainly because they feel as though I can do this on other social media platforms for free. Why would I be paying him to do it? You see what I'm saying? So a lot of them, as soon as you say it's going to cost something, 98% of them are just going to go away. They ain't even going to be bothered with it. Because again, just like the Gamecock, why should I buy an ad in the Gamecock when I can post my birds on my page for free? That's why the Gamecock is this thin, because of that mindset. But the difference in the Gamecock or any of these Grit and Steel, all of these magazines, you wasn't being censored. Your information wasn't being sold. That's what you got to keep in mind. So you actually think you're using these platforms for free? No, it's a trade-off. It's a trade-off. And hey, if it doesn't bother you, that's okay. Because a lot of people it doesn't bother. It's okay. I'm not telling you if it should or should not bother you. I'm just trying to educate to make sure that you know that it's not free. And the money that they're making off your information, they're not sharing in the profits with you. So let's move on. Let's talk about the impact that social media platforms are having on the next generation. Now, we know that with social media platforms, it has opened up the door and gave everyone a voice, right? So, with everyone having a voice, many people are sharing information. And we all know all information is not good information. We all know that. But with social media platforms, it doesn't distinguish what's good information, what's bad information. It doesn't distinguish who's a good knowledgeable guy and who's not a good knowledgeable guy. It doesn't distinguish that. It gives everybody the platform. It gives everybody a platform. So how does that affect the next generation? Well, one of the things is doing is the next generation now is gaining not only access to a lot of great information, they're gaining access to a lot of bad information. It is guys on social media that has learned how to game the system, which is I'm gonna build a big social media following so I can sell more things. So the new generation comes in and thinking, oh, this guy got a big following. He must knows what he's talking about. Well, we all know that's not true. Just because somebody has a large following doesn't mean they know what they're talking about, right? But guys have learned to game the system. I'll give you a prime example. I see guys saying, hey, you can get in this, you can win this prize if you share this with 25 of your other people, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But once an individual get a large following, then that automatically gives them credibility. Now, the ones that been in the sport long enough know what can decipher good information from bad information. But it's the guys that come in, 5 years, I would say 10 years or less, they can't really decipher the information. They don't know who's good and who's bad, who got good information, who got bad information. And then not only that, it has created behavior that all they want is free information. So they end up taking out a lot of information because it's free and not understanding that it's bad. Because social media has created this behavior that you shouldn't have to pay for anything. You shouldn't have to invest in yourself. Social media has created this behavior that this credibility thing that if somebody has a lot of followers, that means they're credible. That's the stuff that social media has created. Not just one platform, all platforms. But I'm just talking about how that's having a negative effect on the next generation. You got a lot of credible guys that don't want to use a platform to share information. Then you got guys out there who they can't keep their mouth shut and don't even know what they're talking about. Or the information is coming out of Google, or something like that. Not information that they learn from experience. So, that is just something that we need to think about of how this is affecting the next generation. Because just like I was telling my buddy, that we cannot criticize the new generation that's coming in because you got to understand who they've been learning from. They've been learning from social media. So if the good guys is not putting good information out, how can you criticize the new generation when they doing bad things? What they learning from fake people. And it's really bad on Instagram. It's really bad. You got guys who ain't never seen nothing. They have just went out, bought a whole bunch of chickens from reputable people and breeding them and just selling them. Ain't never seen one do anything. It's amazing. And that is the negative effect that is of impacting the next generation. Because they're learning from individuals who never did nothing. But they think if they got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 followers, they be like, they got to be credible. And that's not the truth. It's not the truth. So that's something else to think about. Um, how it's affecting the next generation. So, with that, again, that's why I say it's more negative than positive. Um, and I learned, again, just from watching so many other people, every time I turn around, somebody's in Facebook jail, somebody's being shadow banned. Do you look at Joe Rogan? Look what they did to Joe Rogan. This man had $100 million Spotify contract. They took it away from him because something that he did, he actually did it. He believed it. You see what I'm saying? But when you build a platform on somebody else's land, they got the ability to just wipe you out. They got total control. So my message to everybody out there selling anything, I'm not saying y'all guys need to just all go out there and build websites tomorrow, but just understand you're gonna have to play by their rules as long as you're on their platform if you want to continue doing business. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. Um, and there's a cost. You don't have to pay a membership fee every month, but you do got to turn your information over every month, which they make a lot more than what they would charge you for a membership fee. That's something you should think about. So you're not paying a membership fee every month. Your membership fee is you turning over your information every month and they monetizing it, which is making a lot more than what they will be charging you every month for a membership. So think about that. But there's a ton of guys out there that their whole business is built on social media platform. And you know, uh, when this content creator told me, he said, "Man, I really like what you're doing." Because I just let him look. He's not in the game foul. He's not in animals at all. He's a content creator. And I said, "Hey, I want you to take a look at my stuff and let me know, what's going on and how I'm doing and stuff like that." Uh, he looked at it and said, "Hey, everything is great." But he's like, "Well, where's your website?" I was like, "I don't have one." He's like, "You don't have one?" I said, "No." He's like, "Do you realize that you have built a whole, you built this whole journey to the pit deal on somebody else's platform?" He said, "Do you know you can wake up tomorrow and it could be all gone?" And I was like, I really never thought about it like that. And you know what's crazy? Not too long after I had that conversation with him, I get a message from YouTube saying that the video that I had, the video that I had went against community standards and it was a strike against me. So they shut my YouTube channel down for 90 days. And what was the video? It was a chicken running on the treadmill. That's all it was. It was a chicken running on a treadmill. Hundreds of thousands of chickens in Puerto Rico run on treadmills. It was a chicken running on a treadmill. He wasn't getting hurt or anything. He was just exercising. That's it. They shut my YouTube channel down for 90 days. So when that content creator told me that, and then that happened right afterwards, it was a reality check. It was a reality check. Yes, Jason. Jason, yes, you will be able to buy advertisement on a new platform that we're building. Yes, you will be. Miguel, I'll be seeing you soon, brother. I will be seeing you soon. I promise you. Just keep your phone on. Um, so, guys, just think about that. That is the reason why that we're doing what we're doing, because we kind of continue to try to make a positive impact. And we like to keep our conversations about chickens and chickens only. Um, the thing with, again, with social media, you can't really control nobody's behavior. A lot of people post stuff that, in my personal opinion, shouldn't be posted. Um, and it's not just in my personal opinion. The opinion of the platform is the same thing. You can't be putting these fight video, all that kind of stuff. That stuff shouldn't even be on any kind of public platform. Period. At least not in America. If you're in the Philippines and stuff like that, Ecuador, Venezuela, Colombia, all them other places where everything is totally legal, yeah. Dominican Republic, yeah. But in America, no. No. You just can't do it. Um, so that's just something to think about. So my mentor told me many years ago, when I was complaining about something. Those are my younger years when I used to complain. As I got older, I realized don't even complain, because nobody wants to hear it. But what I learned is my mentor told me that if you don't like something, then create something else. If you don't like something, create something else. That's it. Don't complain about it. Create something. So that's exactly pretty much what we're doing. We're going to try to create something that we think will resonate with game fowl breeders of all different breeds. I think we all to the point where we're kind of all tired of the social media deal. But we all know the reality of it is we have nowhere else to go. We all know the reality of it is it has molded our behavior. And all of us ain't even proud of our behavior. You know how many relationships social media has destroyed by allowing them to post a whole bunch of, encouraging these conversations about politics, science, and all in current events. You know how many relationships social media has destroyed? Just think about it. Do you know how many people now are also chicken men? I'm talking about chicken people. I'm talking about game fowl breeders. You know how many game fowl breeders actually have a social media page and they don't talk about no chickens at all? They talk about everything else but chickens. Just think about that, guys. They talk about everything else but chickens. I came to social media because of chickens. My YouTube channel was started years ago, chickens. My Facebook, chickens. My Instagram, chickens. My Twitter, chickens. That's it. Over the last couple years, I've been trying to make a positive impact by bringing in inspirational stuff because I feel as though as game fowl breeders, we're still human. We can make a positive impact on somebody else's life outside of chickens as well. Sharing advice, sharing inspirational stuff like that, sharing funny stuff. So I kind of drifted off and added a little bit of that to the mix. But at the end of the day, I think we all are tired of how we being treated. But we all is faced with the same reality. There's nowhere else to go. There's nowhere else to go. So the sad part about it is we're really just stuck. And we've been stuck for years because we allow all the other places that we had to go to get shut down. All because why should I put anything over there when I can put it over here for free? Or I don't got time to write an article, but I got time to be on social media for hours, either every day or all week. 2, 3 hours. Facebook say the average person spend at least 2 hours a day on social media. You ask a person to write an article, they ain't got time to write an article. But they can spend 2 hours a day on social media scrolling. They're not even writing anything. Scrolling through social media, looking at what somebody else is posting. Think about that. So these social media platforms didn't run magazines out of business. They just molded our behavior to where we didn't see any value in these magazines anymore. Now that they're taking our voice away and they are dictating every aspect of our behavior, now we're missing the other places that we had to go. But they're all gone now. They're all gone. And not only are the other places that we had to go gone, but the behavior of supporting those other places has gone as well. Just think about it. So, um, you know, it's tough. To me, it's frustrating. But at the end of the day, I said to myself, what can you do? What can you do? I said, build another platform. Well, how are you going to fund a platform? You got to sell memberships. It's got to be like the Netflix formula. We don't have investors. You can't run a social media platform on the same hosting plan and stuff like that you run a stagnant website. You got to have horsepower behind a social media platform to constantly keep your posts coming. People uploading videos, pictures, this, that, this, that. This has to be a running engine behind there. With a website, you just create it, post it, and it's stagnant. Social media platform, it got to be wide open because it got to keep up. So just think about that. So what do you do? How do you pay for it? Well, it's two options. You sell memberships or you monetize their information by collecting all the information and then selling it. There's only two ways to keep it running. Only two ways. So that's what our game plan is. Donnie, for sure. We need all the articles. Not only Donnie French is asking, are we going to have articles on the website? Yes, we're going to have articles on the website. I've been talking, reaching out to people, asking people to write the articles. Help me write the articles. Y'all guys know I'm not no master, nothing. So I've been asking people to write articles. I also been asking people to send me, short tutorials. You know, 1 to 2 minutes long. Hey guys, this is how I mix my oats. Hey guys, this is how I set up, this is how my cages is built. Hey guys, this is how my fly pens are built. Hey guys, this is how I worm. You know what I mean? Hey guys, here's a video on my ideal brood cock. This is what I'm looking for. Hey guys, this is my ideal brood hen. Hey guys, this is how I set up my incubator. Hey guys, this is how my brooder is set up. Short 2-minute videos that we can post on the site. That's what the site's going to be about. I have guys sending me stuff. It's definitely not many. Very, very few people have sent me any videos. You know, again, same issue here. So, we got to understand that at the end of the day, the position that we in is all a result of our behavior. That's it. So we create the platform, and then people want to come and support and be in a place just to talk chickens, they will. The ones that don't, will stay where they at. But at the end of the day, I know I'm tired of the social media platforms because I don't believe that they allow me to express myself. I don't believe they do. And I don't believe, to me, it's worth it just because I don't have to cut a check every month or debit out my account every month to use a platform, I don't think that's worth what I'm giving up. I can't be myself. I can't post what I want to post. I look at a bunch of stuff that I really don't want to see. Think about it. Isn't that why streaming platforms have become so popular over cable TV? Because cable TV, you was forced to watch stuff that you really want to watch. Streaming platforms, you pick what you want to watch. Well, that's the same thing. On these social media platforms, you can't pick what comes up on your news feed. You can't pick what comes in the news channel. You can't pick none of that. But it's free. If you only want to see chicken stuff, good luck. Good luck. But it's free. So, it's something that we really need to all think about. But, again, guys, that's just my take on it. I honestly, personally feel that social media has harmed us. Well, I honestly, personally feel our behavior that social media has encouraged has harmed us more than helped us. I personally feel that the behavior on social media has even harmed the next generation more than it harmed us because it is condoning, encouraging, and pushing stuff that's non educational. So at the end of the day, it's something to think about as far as what are we doing for the next generation? You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing? What kind of information out there that they're getting access to? So, again, with the new platform, and I didn't make this video to talk about the platform. I made this video to talk about the effects of social media, but I didn't want to feel like I was just on here complaining about it without a solution. You know what I'm saying? That's the only reason I start talking about the platform because I don't want to feel like all I'm doing up here, I'm going on a rant, I'm complaining about social media, but yet I'm still using it. No, well, let me tell you what we're doing to try to correct that. And again, I just wanted to educate y'all guys on how it works. It's not free, and they're not sharing the profits that they're making off of your information. And you cannot be yourself on a platform. So my solution was create a platform where we can talk chickens again. It doesn't mean you shut down any of your other social media. You can keep all your social media platforms. I just want to create a safe space where we can come and talk chickens and use the word of a breed of chicken and not let it get flagged for hate speech. A breed of chickens, the first letter is J, is a three-letter word. J, I ain't gonna say the middle one, and P, because it already got flagged on my page for hate speech. But we can't even use that word. I talked with a very, very good friend of mine this morning about another word that refers to chickens that you cannot post because on these social media platforms, they don't understand it. And it's a roundhead, but the first name starts with an N. N roundhead. Anybody in roundhead, y'all guys know what roundheads I'm talking about. You can't post that on social media because that'll get flagged as hate speech. So that's what I'm talking about. So on a platform, you can say that because on a platform, we know you're talking about chickens. But on a platform, you won't be sharing stuff about politics. You won't be sharing stuff about science. You won't be sharing, current events. It'll be chickens and chicken related stuff only. Those are house rules because they'll apply to everybody. Why? Because we're not trying to compete against any of the other platforms. We're trying to do something that they're not doing. That's it. That's why. And I think all of us, well, not all of us, most of us are very, 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 very tired of how we have been treated uh, on these platforms. We're tired. And it's not what it used to be. It's not what it used to be. And to me, it encourages and promotes behavior that's very negative. It does. It destroys relationships. It has destroyed friendships. All of that. I just want to talk chickens, and it's sad that there's no other place for us to go. That's it. That's pretty much it. So, if you got any articles that we can use, let me know. I'm not in a position right now to pay people for the articles. Hopefully, in the near future, I'll be able to pay people to write articles and stuff like that. But as of right now, we can't do that. Um, but on the social media platforms, just to give y'all guys an idea of some of the stuff that we'll be doing, we'll be having, uh, you know, contributors. That's what I'll call them. And we might not even need the articles, but contributors that we'll be having different breeders up there, and they'll have their own group on the platform. And you can go in their group and you can have a conversation with that contributor. So if we got five different breeders on there, all five of them have their own group. If you want to conversate with that breeder, you go inside his group and y'all have communications on those things. We're going to have different groups as far as, biddy care, brood stock, yard setup, diseases. We're going to have groups for all of that kind of stuff. So you go into those groups. If you want to talk about biddy care, raising chicks, go into that group, and talk about different types of things in there. You can post videos, you can post pictures, you can have conversations, you can like stuff, you can comment on everybody else's posts. The same thing you're doing on social media now. The same thing. It's the same identical thing. Is it going to be as fancy with all the bells and whistles? No, of course not, because it's not a $1 billion platform. But the platform that we're using now, all of these platforms didn't start out the way they are today. They didn't start out the way they are today. So I hope that game fowl breeders come on board early and follow us along the journey the same way they have done with Journey to the Pit. Um, so at the end of the day, uh, at the end of the day, it's what it is. It's what it is. Um, California. Yeah, I was out in California, I think in November. But yeah, guys. So that's pretty much it. I appreciate y'all guys chiming in. Stay tuned for what we got up and coming. Um, it was a lot of great comments tonight. A lot of great comments tonight. Um, and I think everybody can kind of agree. It didn't seem like too many people disagreed. I haven't been able to read all the comments. I'll go back and read the comments and stuff like that, but I haven't been able to read all the comments. Um, but I think, at the end of the day, I think we kind of all agree. I think we're all tired, but we don't have the reality is we don't have any other place to go. And I'm not saying that this platform that we're putting together is going to be the silver bullet to solve everything. I'm not saying that at all. Never portrayed that at all, anything like that. I don't expect for everybody to jump on board. It is what it is. And that's just the reality of it. And again, it's not a zero sum game. It's not if you come onto the platform, you got to shut down all your social media. One don't have anything to do with the other. We're not in competition with anybody else. We're just doing our own thing. I'm pretty sure there'll be other people that come out and try to do the same identical thing. That's fine as well. It's enough breeders to go around. Doesn't mean if you're a member of one site, you can't be a member at another site. We're not competing against anybody. We're just trying to do our own thing, just like we're doing over here at Journey to the Pit. There's been people that has been doing interviews. You know, they was never doing interviews before Journey to the Pit. They had the option to do it. They had the feature on their phone to do it. They had the feature on a laptop to do it, but they wasn't doing it. But people see how effective Journey to the Pit is, then a lot of people start doing it. That's what it is. But it doesn't matter. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I don't think one person has to fail for somebody else to succeed. But at the end of the day, you know, platforms can be uh, replicated, but personalities can't. Personalities can't. It's just that simple. So the platform can be copied all day, every day, but everybody likes different personalities. Everybody don't like my personality. They might like another host on another show personality. Is nothing wrong with that at all. That's it. So, guys, I hope that this was a informative live stream. I know it's not a very popular live stream. I know it's not going to get hundreds of views or anything like that. I know nobody's going to share it. That is fine. No problem. I'm not asking y'all to. It is what it is. The people that wanted to hear it heard it. The people that don't care don't care. And that's fine. It doesn't make a never mind. It doesn't make a never mind. But just know, guys, we are trying our best. Um, we're trying our best, man. We're trying our best, and we just got to understand that our behavior that we've been exhibiting on social media, and the stuff that been promoting, it's been bad. It's been bad not only for the chickens, but it's also been bad for us as a community, as individuals, because it has destroyed a lot of relationships, a lot of friendships, because of different points of views, and it had nothing to do with chickens. That's the sad part about it. It had to do with everything else but chickens. So at the end of the day, guys, with this information that we talked about tonight, you know, if it's something that you learn, share it with somebody. Have a conversation with somebody. Ask them, are they tired of it? I'm pretty sure the answer gonna be yes. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. I'll be sticking and moving. No telling where you're gonna see me at the next time you see me on live stream. No telling where I'll be. Um, but y'all guys stay safe, stay focused, stay positive, and I hope that you learned something tonight from this live stream. But if anybody is doing business on these platforms, you really need to watch this whole entire video. I'm trying to tell you that right now. So, again, have a good night, and I will see y'all guys very, very soon.